Hey everyone, I'm Olivia. I'm 25, working hard to become a nurse, and living with my grandpa, who's been pretty sick lately. It's been tough, especially since my dad passed away 5 years ago. That's when everything changed. My stepmom, Sandra, completely flipped. After dad died, it was like she ripped off a mask and revealed who she really was, cold and strict, barely acknowledging me. But when it came to her precious daughter Megan, oh, that was a different story. Megan, my 22-year-old stepsister, is the apple of Sandra's eye. Everything's always about Megan. New clothes, fancy dinners, while I'm barely scraping by, working a part-time job in the hospital cafeteria. Olivia, why can't you be more like Megan? Sandra would say, her voice dripping with disappointment. She's going places, unlike some people. I just roll my eyes and head to Grandpa's room. He's been my anchor through all this chaos. We'd spend hours together, him telling me stories about Dad when he was young, and me sharing my dreams of becoming a nurse. You've got your father's heart, live. Don't let anyone dim your light, he'd always tell me. Thankfully, I have my best friend Jasmine and my boyfriend Tyler. They've been my lifeline, especially when things get tough at home. Girl, you need to get out of that toxic house, Jasmine would say over coffee. Sandra's a piece of work. Tyler's always there with a hug and a pep talk. You're stronger than you think, Liv. You've got this. But juggling everything feels like walking a tightrope. I'm up at dawn to check on Grandpa before my shift at the hospital. Then it's off to classes, squeezing in study time whenever I can. After work, I rush home to cook dinner for Grandpa while Sandra and Megan waltz in from their shopping sprees. Oh, you're still here, Sandra would say, like I was a guest in my own home. One night, just as I was about to collapse into bed, I heard a loud thud from Grandpa's room. My heart dropped. Grandpa. I called out, rushing to his door. No answer. I burst in to find him on the floor, barely conscious. Oh my God, Grandpa. I cried, fumbling for my phone to dial 911. Stay with me, please, I whispered, holding his hand as the sirens blared in the distance. The ambulance ride was a blur. I stayed by Grandpa's side, whispering, "You're going to be okay," over and over. At the hospital, they whisked him away, leaving me pacing the waiting room for what felt like hours. Finally, a doctor came over. "Your grandfather's condition is critical. I'm afraid he doesn't have much time left. You should prepare yourself." It felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. Just then, Sandra and Megan strolled in, looking like they had been interrupted at the spa. "What's the situation?" Sandra asked, not even glancing at me. Through gritted teeth, I explained. Megan huffed, glancing at her phone. "Great, now I'm going to miss my surprise party." Sandra patted Megan's arm. "Don't worry, honey, we'll make sure you don't miss a thing." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Are you serious right now? Grandpa is dying." Sandra's eyes narrowed, and she grabbed my arm, dragging me into a corner. "Listen, Olivia, you need to go home and handle Megan's party." "What? No way, I'm staying with Grandpa." "This is not a request. Megan's friends are already on their way. You will go home and make sure everything is perfect." I yanked my arm free. "Absolutely not. Grandpa needs me." Her voice turned icy. "You ungrateful little brat. After everything we've done for you, everything you've done, you've made my life hell since Dad died. You will do as I say, or so help me." That's when I heard a familiar voice behind me. "Is everything okay here?" It was Tyler. Thank God. Sandra's demeanor changed instantly, turning all syrupy sweet. "Oh, Tyler, how nice of you to come. We're just having a little family discussion." Tyler wasn't buying it. He wrapped his arm around me and asked, "Liv, what's going on?" Before I could speak, Sandra cut in. "Olivia was just leaving to take care of some family business, weren't you, dear?" I squared my shoulders. "No, I wasn't. I'm staying with Grandpa." Sandra's face twisted with rage. "If you don't leave right now, you can consider yourself cut off. No more roof over your head. No more college fund. Nothing." Tyler tensed beside me. "You can't do that." "Watch me," Sandra hissed. My mind raced. Everything I had worked for, my future, my home, was at risk. But then I thought of Grandpa, lying there alone. "Fine," I said, my voice shaking. "Do whatever you want. I'm staying." Sandra's eyes narrowed into slits. "You'll regret this, Olivia. Don't come crawling back when you're out on the streets." She spun on her heel, dragging a protesting Megan with her. Tyler squeezed my shoulder. You did the right thing, Liv. But as we walked back to Grandpa's room, the weight of what had just happened hit me. I might have lost everything. What was I going to do now? The next morning, I was exhausted, having spent the night in an uncomfortable hospital chair, holding Grandpa's hand. Jasmine showed up with coffee and a sympathetic ear. She did what? Jasmine exclaimed when I told her about Sandra's ultimatum. That witch. I nodded, fighting back tears. I don't know what I'm going to do, Jazz. I can't afford rent on my own, let alone tuition. Jasmine's eyes lit up. Wait a second. Remember when you mentioned Sandra acting weird about the family business? Maybe there's something there. We spent the next few hours huddled over Jasmine's laptop, digging into the business finances. What we found made my blood run cold. Look at these transfers, Jasmine pointed out, her finger hovering over the screen. Large sums were being moved into an offshore account, all authorized by Sandra. My hands shook as I scrolled through the documents. She's been stealing from the company, stealing from us. But that wasn't all. As we dug deeper, we found something even worse. Liv, look at this, Jasmine said in a hushed voice. Your dad's will. The date it was changed, just days before he died. I felt sick. She must have pressured him when he was too weak to resist. Just then, my phone buzzed. It was Tyler. Liv, you're not going to believe what I found. He had been looking into Sandra's past. It turned out my stepmom had a history of marrying wealthy men, draining their accounts and moving on to the next victim. She's done this before, Liv, 3 times. I was reeling from all these revelations when a text from Megan popped up. Thanks for ruining my party. Mom told everyone what a selfish cow you are. I couldn't even feel angry. I was just tired. That night, Grandpa took a turn for the worse. I was by his side, holding his hand as he took his last breath. I love you, Grandpa, I whispered, tears streaming down my face. The funeral was a blur. Sandra put on a big show, wailing and carrying on. But I caught her checking her watch, clearly rushing the proceedings. As people started to leave, I overheard her talking to Megan near the refreshment table. Don't worry, sweetie. Once we sell the house and the business, we'll have plenty to set you up in that apartment in the city. My fists clenched. They were planning to sell everything. Over my dead body. I slipped away, my mind racing. I had the evidence of Sandra's embezzlement and I knew about her past. But how could I use it? That's when I spotted my dad's old business partner, Mr. Johnson, standing somberly by the exit. An idea started to form. Maybe, just maybe, I could turn this around. I took a deep breath and walked over to him. Mr. Johnson, there's something I need to talk to you about. It's about the family business. His eyebrows raised. Oh, what about it, Olivia? I glanced over my shoulder, making sure Sandra wasn't within earshot. Not here. Can we meet tomorrow? It's important. He must have seen the urgency in my eyes because he nodded. Of course. My office, 9 a.m. I nodded, feeling a glimmer of hope for the first time in days. I'll be there. As I walked away, I caught Sandra's suspicious gaze. Let her wonder. Her time was running out. The next morning, I met Mr. Johnson at his office. His face grew grim as I laid out everything we'd discovered of Sandra's embezzlement. I suspected something was off. But this is beyond what I imagined, Mr. Johnson said, shaking his head. We hatched a plan. He would approach Sandra with a fake business opportunity, one too tempting for someone like her to resist. A week later, we set the trap. Sandra waltzed into the conference room, Megan in tow. So what's this golden opportunity? Sandra purred, her eyes gleaming. Mr. Johnson laid out the bait. A chance to invest in a new venture with guaranteed high returns. All she had to do was transfer a large sum from the family business account. Of course, we'll need to move quickly, he added. The window of opportunity is small. Sandra barely hesitated. Let's do it. I'll make the transfer right now. The moment she hit send on her laptop, the door burst open. In walked the board members and a detective. Sandra Thompson, you're under arrest for embezzlement and fraud, the detective announced. The color drained from Sandra's face. This is ridiculous. I haven't done anything wrong. But the evidence was irrefutable. As they led her away, Megan turned to me, shock written all over her face. Olivia, I had no idea. I'm so sorry for everything. I looked at her, feeling nothing but exhaustion. Save it, Megan, we're done. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. The board fired Sandra and pressed charges. Then came the bombshell. Grandpa had left me his share of the business. He always believed in you, Olivia, Mr. Johnson said as he handed over the paperwork. Sandra's carefully crafted world crumbled. Her high society friends deserted her, horrified by the scandal. Last I heard, she was facing serious jail time. Megan didn't fare much better. Cut off from Sandra's ill-gotten gains, she had to drop out of her fancy college. She tried reaching out to me a few more times, but I blocked her number. Some bridges stay burned. As for me, I threw myself into my studies. With my inheritance secure, I could focus on becoming the nurse I'd always dreamed of being. Jasmine and Tyler were my rocks through it all. "See, I told you, you're stronger than you knew," Tyler said one night as we celebrated me acing a tough exam. Jasmine raised her glass. "To Olivia, the baddest nurse to be in town." We laughed, and for the first time in years I felt light. Free. A few months later, I visited Dad and Grandpa's graves. As I laid flowers down, a sense of peace washed over me. "I did it, guys," I whispered. "I made it through." Fast forward to today. I'm thriving in my career at the city's top hospital. The family business is doing better than ever under Mr. Johnson's guidance, with me learning the ropes on the side. As for Sandra and Megan, I caught a news report the other day. Sandra's still tied up in legal battles, trying to appeal her sentence. Megan's struggling to find work, the scandal following her like a bad smell. Me, I'm just getting started. Life threw me some serious curveballs, but I came out swinging. And you know what? I wouldn't change a thing. Every struggle, every betrayal, it all led me here. Stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever comes next. Now, I have a question for you. If you were in my shoes, would you have given Megan a second chance? Or do you think cutting ties completely was the right move? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences and opinions matter. They might help someone else facing a similar situation. And if you enjoyed this story and want to hear more like it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to me and helps me continue sharing these real-life experiences. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.